Well, hello, Discover Health and Wellness family. Dr. Teets here. And what I want to go over with you here in the next few minutes is something that we've all been discussing over the last few weeks, especially with our current climate, which is immunity. So, with that, I've been telling you during certain visits to get out and get some sun exposure. So, the question is, why did I tell you that? So, first, before that, let's go ahead and set up what the immune system actually is so we can get to the bottom of that statement that I've been saying to you. First, know that your immune system has two different types of responses. You've got what's called your innate response and your acquired response or your adaptive response. Your innate response, your inborn response, that's something you were born with. I was born with it. We all were. That is actually the first line of defense for any time we're exposed to a pathogen like a virus or a bacteria. Now, you've also, again, got your what's called adaptive response. Now, your adaptive response, your acquired response, it uses two different types of cells called T cells and B cells if and when an organism has slipped by your innate response or your first response. These T cells, these B cells, they take a little bit longer to develop because what they're doing is every time you're exposed to something, they're learning for the next time how to fight it and how to beat it. So that's why there is scientific validity, actually, to the old adage of letting a child play in the dirt as opposed to sterilizing everything in their environment. Because the less they're exposed to, the less they learn. The more we're exposed to, the more our bodies learn how to fight. So briefly, these T cells and B cells, your B cells fight off bacteria and viruses by making what are called antibodies, which, of course, that is a word that we've heard a lot over the last week or so. And these antibodies, they attach to an invader and they alert the brain and the immune system to make it marked for destruction. Okay? So every time you're exposed to something, you make these antibodies. So the next time your antibodies float around, attach, they find it, they kill it. That way, you may not even have symptoms the next time you're exposed to something. Your body's fought it off very quickly. But T cells, they are very complex, but essentially they have two subgroups. You have helper T cells and killer T cells. Helper T cells, they stimulate your B cells to make more antibodies, and your killer T cells actually directly kill cells that have already been infected. So to quickly summarize, you were born with an immune response and your body learned more of a response through prior exposures to be more prepared for the next one. And your T and B cells are vital for a robust response to keep you healthy and alive when you are infected. So, why sunlight? So when your skin is exposed to UV light, UVA and UVB radiation, your skin actually converts a precursor to vitamin D into vitamin D3. Then this D3 is broken down in a process that happens within your liver and your kidneys to modulate a molecule called calcitriol. Now that's the good stuff that your body actually utilizes. Processed vitamin D, this calcitriol, if you will, does many incredible things, and that is for another time. However, one major thing it does modulate is the activity of, you guessed it, your immune system, your T cells and B cells. So if you're low on vitamin D, these work less and have less direction from your body, from your brain and your innate intelligence. But if you're within normal levels of vitamin D, your B and T cells are controlled in a way that makes your immune response as strong as it naturally can be. One study showed that just 30 minutes of exposure to the sun can be equivalent to a consuming 10,000 to 20,000 IUs of vitamin D. That is an incredible amount. It is the easiest and fastest way to increase vitamin D within your system instead of consuming it through food and drink. So the more vitamin D you have, the better immune response that your body is going to allow yourself to have, which of course does what? Keeps yourself from getting as sick as you could be, preferably not sick at all. And we know here in America, our immune systems for a lot of people are not doing so well because of so many people that get sick, not just now, but in any given time. Well, it's not a crazy thing to understand because it is estimated that 40% of our country, 40%, are lacking in the amount of vitamin D that we need. So it's no wonder why we're so sick as a nation, and maybe why we're having such a hard time with what we're currently going through. So make sure you get your vitamin D, get out and get some sun exposure, especially over these next few days as it's supposed to be nice, so that you can stay as healthy as you possibly can be. Now that you know what happens with sunlight, you actually get more vitamin D, which helps to boost, amongst many things, your immune system response. So, until the next time we see each other, stay safe and stay strong.